So I watched that movie Christy, and I thought this movie looked interesting. Like I'm always into those underdog type stories, and I know it's based on a true story when it comes to the character Christy is a real person, a real female boxer. And I know from what I heard, she was important in the female bosses. I never really got into boxing or watched a lot of boxing. I'm always down though for like movies that are based on like true stories and these people from like the sports areas, Boston, MMA, and even though I'm not into those sports, I'm always intrigued by movies based on true stories. My overall thoughts on Chrissy is that I thought it was a good movie. It was solid. It wasn't great. Like the positives with the movie, I will say is, which I hope I'm not pronouncing her name wrong. Cindy Sweeney was she was in that movie Immaculate. She's been in a couple of things. I thought this was the best performance I've seen in a movie so far. Like outside of this movie, I thought in Immaculate she was okay up until the final scene in that movie. I think the final scene in that movie, she's fantastic. I think if you take that final scene in Immaculate, that to me was the first time where I'm like, you know what, she's a good actress. She can be a good to great actress if she's given some stuff to work with. And I felt like in this movie, I would say this is her best performance. I think she's great in this movie. I think she does a great job as this playing this real person, this character Chrissy, this female bossa. She's very likable in this movie. You root for her character. And I think her character's she's just very interesting character with tons of personality. And I did feel invested in her character. And yeah, it hits some. I would say it hits some familiar beats, but I do love those underdog type stories and sports movies. So overall, I did like the story in this movie. I thought the Aston was pretty solid when it came to the Boston scenes in this movie. The negatives I would say with this movie is that you can tell with the fact that this is a lower budget movie. The lower budget does hurt this movie a little bit for me, where yeah, I can feel that it's a lower budget movie. It doesn't have the biggest budget, so I felt that. And also, there was times in this movie where I felt like certain scenes were just like cut off at a certain point with the dialogue scenes, where I felt like, oh, wait, that scene's done. I feel like there's certain scenes you could have extended a little bit more. There's just times where it felt like it cut off with certain scenes in this movie when the scenes would just end and go on to the next scene. I felt like it felt like that scene should have been longer. Like it was just there was times where it just felt like it was scenes were just kind of cut off. So that was one of the negatives with this movie. And like I said about it being an underdog story, it is very generic at times. I will say that the story is pretty, it's predictable, it's generic. It doesn't really do anything particularly new you haven't seen in these type of sports movies about the underdog. I think the story of her character when it comes to the girl she's with at the beginning of the movie, I feel like that relationship could have been fussed out more, and I think that element of her character, but of the fact that she was a lesbian, the person, I think you could have dived more into that in this movie with that part of the story. I feel like you could have done more with that in this movie. The other cast, I think, do a great job in this movie. Ben Foster, who plays her trainer Curse, who they eventually get married. I think he does a great job in this movie when it comes to playing this guy. You're like, yeah, you really hate this guy. Like does a great job playing an asshole, and then like when you get together and you see how bad it gets the relationship, you're like, yeah, this guy is scum. Like he does a great job of playing this guy you just really hate. So I think Ben Foster's great in this movie, performance wise, playing this character you just dislike, and as the movie goes along, you dislike his character more and more. So, and I think the rest of the cast do a great job in this movie. I think some of the characters probably could have been fleshed out a little bit more. Like I wish we got more stuff with her dad in this movie, and the actress who played Christy's mom, the character's mom in this movie. I just I hated her character in this movie. This how she was as a parent. Like I couldn't stand her character in this movie. Which is, I think, it was the point of the movie. You're not supposed to like her character, and I was like, oh man, as a mom in this movie, her character, I was just like, how she, just like how I character treated Christine, the fact that she's a lesbian. I was like, man, they did a great job of making you hate the mom in this movie. Like I couldn't stand her character. And like I said, I think that's the point of the way the characters win. But even there's some characters in the movie where I feel like they could have done more. If Chris, the actor who played the character's brother in this movie, I would like to have seen more scenes with is between her and him. Those two characters in this movie, you don't get a lot with Christina's brother, the actor who plays the brother of a character in this movie. You don't get a whole lot with his character. I would like to have seen this character more in the movie to see more scenes between the family in this movie. And like I said, I think you could have fussed out the whole girlfriend she's with at the beginning of the movie. I think you could have fussed out that relationship more. Overall, though, I think it's a good, solid, entertaining sports movie. It's not great. It's not gonna be one of my favorite movies of the year, but I would recommend you go watch it and check it out. Like for me, it's solid. It's like it's a good movie. There's stuff that held it back for me personally from it being a great movie. Overall, I would put it in like a solid time. Not one of my favorite movies of the year. Still overall a good movie. So that's my thoughts on Christina. Until next time, movie fans.